society, we have melded families, blended families.
Oh yeah.
So, and it's more now than ever before, and more often than not, I hear these ladies, and I made mention of this even on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
I hear these ladies who say, "I've been both mama and daddy," and no, you've been a good mother. You stepped in and did what mothers do. You don't have the capability. You don't have the prerequisite to be a man, so you can't ever be father.
Right.
Don't be disrespectful to a man and say that you took on his role. No, you can never do that.
Right.
Just as a man should never be disrespectful and take on the role and say, I was both daddy and mama. No, you were only a father.
Right. And it's almost like the society wants to set up a win-lose, an either-or, and that's just not the case.
What they want to set up is a both are the same.
Mm-hmm. And that's not the case either.
That's not the case either. I submit to you that we're all equal,
right,
but not the same.
Exactly.
I don't know what it is to have estrogen in my body.
No. As a matter of fact, if a male has estrogen in his body, there's an issue. So,
okay.
But but again, in my conversations with different other gendered mindset people,
mm-hmm.
they will tell you that they're correcting, they are truly living their calling. That we have two callers on here. I'll get right to you, callers. They don't want to say that God made a mistake, except some of them will have told me God has made a mistake. He put a man in a woman's body, or he put a woman in a man's body, and they're just fixing the error that was made. and that's what I was told. So okay. Good morning, callers. You're on the air.
Good morning.
Ooh, let's see here.
Good morning.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Sound Travels is pleased to present to some and introduce to others our fantastic guest, my brother from another mother, the only living twin I have on this planet. And I've got many brothers and sisters, but he is my twin brother, my brother Dan Vale. Where are you at this year? Where you at this month? Huh?
I am right at the moment in New Boston, Texas, which is just a few miles out of Texarkana, on my way up to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Okay, and
awesome.
You know her, you love her. She's fast becoming a staple in Sound Travel's world. I get all kind of comments about her. Nira, my God, to thee, she is here.
Hello.
God bless you. How are you this morning?
I'll be totally honest. I've been better, but God is good, and I woke up this morning, so I can't complain.
There you go. All right. We are here. We're all here this morning. We've been really heavy lately. So I decided we were just going to do a light kind of thing and just kind of glance over a few things. So, what do you think about the current gospel music scene?
What gospel music?
Exactly. What gospel music scene? I'm from an era of Five Blind Boys. I'm from an era of, the good old-fashioned down-home gospel singers. Now, granted, some of them weren't living any kind of life, but they were singing gospel when they were up there. Mm-hmm. So what more can you say? And now we have, I don't even know I know that, what's her name, got the Gospel Artist of the Year award, and I've never heard of her.
Gorilla.
Gorilla. Yeah, okay, Gorilla. So, I'm disappointed to say the least. I don't even know what's going on. But let's just say, how is it? Okay, Nira, I wanted to ask you something. Because I was in Ohio, but I didn't get a chance to reach out to you. I had to do what we call a turnaround.
Yep.
That's where you come in, you do what you got to do, and then you turn around and come back home.
Nope. Been there, done that.
Yeah. And I was telling Bishop that I tried to sneak into the church at my brother's church. I tried to sneak in and just sit in the back and just be ministered to. But the ushers knew me. And the usher said, "Oh, they're downstairs. Ministers are all downstairs." And I go, "Oh, okay." So I go downstairs, and the pastor says, "Oh, Dan, how you doing? You got a word for us this morning?" Yes, I have a word for us this morning.
Awesome.
Yeah, so it was an amazing time. It was an amazing time, and it just, if you allow the Spirit to move, the Spirit will move.
Yeah.
None of that.
You know, and it was amazing, and just wow, it's humbling, is really what it is.
Yeah.
It's humbling. The fact of the matter that when you go someplace, your Holy Spirit goes before you and prepares the path.
Yeah.
And when you have to speak, you get up, you speak up, stand up, speak up. When done, shut up.
Yeah.
My brother said he admired me. He said, "You know, I noticed that when your notes were done, you stopped talking." He said, "I see a lot of preachers come up here and they have notes and stuff, and when the notes are done, they keep talking, and most of the time, that's when they mess up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's when everything they did, they destroy in that last 2 or 3 minutes." I recall a situation. I was at a particular church in Dorchester where this bishop showed up in a purple robe, 3-foot miter.
You just won't let that
I
one
won't
go.
let that one go. He started in Genesis. He went to Revelation, and I to this day I could not tell you his message.
Well, I can't either.
Well,
You can't.
listen, the human mind has the capacity to take in and process smaller chunks of information at any given time. If you just want to flood somebody with noise, read the whole Bible to them. If you want them to learn something, read a couple of verses.
Yep.
And what bothered
go.
Yeah, what bothered me is he kept saying, "I come to help the pastor this afternoon. I come to help. I'm here to be a help to the pastor." And my first thought was, when are you going to start?
Yeah.
And what's taking you so long to get there?
And what's taking you so long to get there? And then, at his crowning glory, he decided that he was going to walk the pews, not the aisles. Remember this?
Yeah.
He got up and he was walking the pews. And I thought to myself, if he trips, I'm going to lose it. If he falls, my Holy Ghost is right out the window. I'm going to be on the floor.
Well, for some of us, guys of vintage, shall we say, many of us grew up in a culture where they taught us to worship God. You know what I mean?
Oh, yes. God.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And there was, there was a whole lot of emotion and fervor that went into those kind of sermons. But
you can't remember one thing that was said.
No, you can't. and what was the purpose? What was it we're supposed to learn about this showmanship?
Here's what I learned about it. Don't let this happen to you. That's what I learned. Don't let this happen to you. You're going somewhere, leave your 3-foot miter at home. Leave your purple robe at home.
Yeah.
And
that's everybody, hey, look at me.
Yeah. Bishop, because you remember the situation and you have a different slant on it than I do.
There are those times where the vestment is called for. Mm-hmm. There are those times. maybe he felt like that was one of those times in honor of the service. Beyond that, I believe in humility.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in humility. We can dress in a suit and tie that is over the top as well. We can dress in urban wear that is uncalled for. We can in any fashion sense we can present ourselves in such a way that it's peacockish.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, look at me.
Yeah.
Look at me.
Yeah.
So
And see, it's interesting to me because he becomes a cautionary tale.
mm-hmm.
You know, and it's not necessary.
Mm-hmm.
When at the homegoing service, there was a bishop who was presiding, and he was in a straight suit and tie, and didn't have monstrous jewelry on. He didn't have, and he was a bishop. He didn't need all of that, and just come on, people, come on,
we're called to humility and modest dress.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, and I think that the modesty in fashion today is all but out the window.
Oh, please.
Agree.
What is it that I was and I have to call her out because it bothered me so badly. One of the famed gospel singers, she got up on stage in black leather,
Yeah.
skin tight black leather. And when I tell you she had a lot of skin to be tight,
Okay, I'm going home. Yeah.
she had a lot of skin to be tight.
Yeah.
Singing gospel, singing the Lord's praises. Is that necessary?
No.
Well,
No. No, it's not.
when we look at, what do you traditionally wear to a funeral?
Oh, please.
Well,
Oh, no, go there. No.
Why?
Because the last 7 funerals I've been to, and even the ones, and some of the ones I've presided at, they look like they just left the club or are heading to the club.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
that's sad.
Yeah.
We have left that era where when we are going to a funeral or be it a homegoing services, we dress in attire that projects the attitude of mourning, okay, of being somber, of being respectful. Now, they look like they're going to the club or to some party. It's the culture that we're developing today, where there's no respect for anything nor anyone, and appropriateness is virtually non-existent.
Yeah. Well,
I would actually say that it's not so much a blatant disrespect. It's that people of my age and younger don't know how to be respectful because we've never been taught it. And also, I would even dare say we've never been shown it either. Because my age and younger, it was both parents were working, and so we were raised by other people or the TV or ourselves, and we were never shown respect because we were told, sit down, be quiet, and you have nothing of value. And then suddenly you hit 18, and it's like, well, now what do you want to do with your life? You're an adult. And we're like, wait, what? I never even got to be a kid. Hang on. And so we don't know how to be respectful. We don't know how to be respected. And so how could we know what to wear? And let's also face it, you can't find anything that's appropriate without going out of your way or the expense. I mean, I can go buy a tank top that's not appropriate for $1 at Walmart, but I can't find a nice dress that is going to cover me appropriately and be modest without going to a specialty store or ordering it online for $50 or $60.
Yeah.
I'm too broke for that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I never thought of that.
Well, I get that from my wife all the time.
Really?
Yeah. Certain stores that women could go to and get something that would be appropriate at all times, those stores are closed. They're gone for the most part. I'm a baby boomer, okay? But both of my parents were a little further in age. In fact, they were 38 years old when I was born. And my dad was what you would call a snappy dresser.
No.
And
Really?
yes, he
No,
was.
I would not believe that. No, come on.
His words to me were, "Son, you wear your clothes. Don't let your clothes wear you."
That's some wisdom right there.
Oh! It sticks with me to this day. He would say that a man is not fully dressed until he has a hat on.
Yeah. And I did, and see, I am from the era where men wore black suits, white shirt, red tie, hat. Okay. Women wore dresses past the knee.
Yeah.
Not-
Stockings.
Under the dresses, slips under the dresses. I guess they call them petticoats. I don't know, but slips under the dress. So if the sun hits the dress, it don't go any further. Some of these some of these dresses out there are X-rays.
Is it?
Sun hit the dress, and there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. And it's
kind of what I was starting to say about, what do we wear to a funeral? That traditionally you would wear black, and the reason for black is because on this day we pay respects to our fallen brother or sister.
Yeah.
And all the attention can be drawn and directed to that person. Take it away from me, so I'm going to wear a non-color. Everybody going to be the same, and the attention is not drawn to us. But today, it's everybody look at me.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, that's what we're taught. There used to be a beauty in the uniformity of putting aside for a moment your uniqueness and putting aside your own self to honor and respect and represent those who you are there to serve. Because realistically, if you go to a funeral memorial, you are there to serve the family who has lost someone dear to them. And we call it paying our respects.
Right.
You're there for them, therefore all eyes should be on them. And it's the same idea at a wedding. You don't wear white to a wedding. That's not what you do. You usually will either get wine splashed on you or you'll get kicked out. Because the eyes are not on you. You are there to pay respect to the bride and groom.
Yes.
Wow. See, and as church people, it's our duty to get this stuff out there. Who's keeping it? Who's keeping the traditions alive if church leaders are not keeping it alive? Who's doing it?
Well, take a look at some of the pastors that are in the pulpits today.
Do I have to?
Jeans, oversized T-shirts, the nicest new tennis shoes, and it used to be that the preacher was the one who wore a collar, or he was the one who wore a suit and suit coat, and he was dressed up. I came from Southern Baptist Convention, and that was you dressed in your Sunday best. You had specific outfits that you did not wear any other time.
Yeah.
That was only your Sunday clothes, and God forbid you were a child that liked to run around and play in the mud because your mama would beat you.
Yeah.
Because you got the Sunday best dirty.
what they call your Sunday go to meeting clothes.
Yeah.
Sunday go to meeting
Sunday
clothes.
go to meeting clothes. And then,
Yeah,
and see,
that's what you did.
yeah. And then what happens? We had a succession, and in my formative years, I had the Sunday clothes, and then after they got too old, they became the weekday clothes, and then after the school clothes, and then after they got too old for that, they became the play clothes. So you would go to school in your school clothes, you would come home and change into your play clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then that's what happened. Now, in my case, I was the bottom of the rung, so I got the hand-me-downs.
Yeah.
So I didn't get new clothes. Whoever outgrew what they were wearing, give it to Dan. Dan, Dan, see if Dan can wear this.
Must be something about that name.
You too? You too? Wow. Okay, must be something about that name because it just what it was. So I did not grow up with any kind of a healthy opinion of clothes. There's my sister I have a picture that my sister sent me of me somewhere at 8 or 9 years old where I'm in high water pants that are clearly high water pants, not accidentally. We're talking 3 or 4 inches high water pants.
You didn't buy them like that?
No.
Oh.
No. I didn't. No.
I mean,
But also, let me put this in front of you. Back then, clothes were made to do so. We don't make clothing to a standard that can be done anymore.
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
interesting.
our clothes used to be made in the U.S. Now they come from Burma and Thailand.
China and every place else.
There's such a poor quality of material and stitching, and we've become such a, what I like to call, microwave society that we don't make anything that lasts anymore. It used to be if something was broke, you fixed it
Well, gee,
before you went out and bought a new one.
Oh, yeah.
Well, now you don't darn your socks. You don't, fix the hole in the skirt. You throw it away and you go buy a new one because it's not worth saving.
And
Who does that benefit?
well, it benefit.
Exactly.
Yeah, it doesn't benefit the person. It clearly benefits the enemy. Quite frankly, and see, you said a phrase that people don't even know. Darn your socks. I knew what it meant. I knew exactly what it meant. That
It didn't cause pause for me.
no.
Yeah.
No.
In fact, I still do it.
You still do it.
I still do it.
Yeah.
I hem my own clothes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I once met a man in metropolitan Boston of an Eastern European descent.
Okay.
And I thought that there's another demographic that was the ayatollahs of being cheapskates, and I was living with one at the time. But then we met this man. Then I met this man, and out in not Wellesley, but one of those western burbs, and this guy, nicest guy in the world, but he would wear his jeans until the knees wore out, and when the knees wore out, he would take scissors, cut them off, and turn the bottom stovepipes around and sew them back on. So he'd get a fresh knee.
Wow.
I kid you not.
And you recognize this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd never heard of this before. And interestingly enough, I never heard of it for clothes, but for electronics and for automobiles and stuff like that, I do that in a heartbeat.
That's your world.
That's my world. I do that in a heartbeat. And it's crazy because I used to pick up TVs. I don't think I bought a TV for 20 years. I'd pick them up off the sidewalk, fix them, and have my TV. And the engineers looking at me like, surprise, surprise. and that was it. That's what I did. And then they came out with the flat screens. So I'm thinking to myself, oh, this is going to be easy. They're lighter. I keep an inverter in my truck so I can plug it in to make sure it turns on.
Yeah.
And I don't even stop anymore. Because I've never picked up a flat screen off the ground that was worth fixing.
It's not.
Yeah.
Not one.
Once they're gone.
Once they're gone, when somebody sets it out, leave it.
Yeah.
It's done.
Yep.
There's even they put the remote control with it and $10 on top of it. Take the $10 because there's nothing you can do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I mean, for $300 at Walmart, you can buy the,
Yeah.
a big, huge whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's ridiculous. Now, even when it comes to computers, my cell phone that I carry on a regular basis has more computing capacity than the first 3 computers I built.
And it's in the palm of your hand.
It's in the palm of my hand.
Yep.
So,
I could take over a small third world country with my phone somehow.
Exactly.
Not that I'm smart enough to do it, but yes. I remember upgrading my computer, my first desktop computer, from Windows 95, and I kept that computer going all the way to Windows XP, man. I upgraded that thing, and I kept it going, and
I still have a laptop that runs Windows XP. What are you talking about? Can't do anything with it today.
I know.
My first was a 286.
Oh, see, you late. The first computer I built was an 8086.
Wow.
Yeah. That's
And it had a pull cord in the back.
Yeah. The first computer was an 8086. I think it was a 8 meg processor, and I was rolling, man. And it had a memory card that was almost the same size as the computer.
I think my first computer ran MS-DOS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My first work computer ran DOS.
Yeah.
So we're like that now, and this whole society. I watch these things now on the bus. The buses are safer. Why? Everybody's on their phone. Nobody's talking to nobody. As a matter of fact, when I got on the bus, when I was riding, my wife and I sometimes take these trips where I ride the train with her. And I'm excited because I'm on the train. I get to talk to new people. No. Nope. No
one wants to talk to you.
Nobody wants to talk to me. No, they don't want to talk.
We don't know how to communicate anymore.
No.
They really don't.
Communicating with people face to face is dangerous. You're a threat suddenly now that you've smiled and waved.
Yeah.
I'm going to pat myself on the back here.
Don't break your arm.
For just a moment. When I wrote my term paper for political science in grade 12,
Okay.
I wrote it on how McDonald's was going to be the destruction of Western civilization.
Wow.
And
Through that.
where I went with that was the drive-through window, which morphed into the ATMs. Drive-through ATMs were just coming out, brand new, and how we were getting to be a very impatient, gimme, just make it fast. I don't care about quality. I don't care about service. I don't care about humanity. I don't care about anything. Just gimme. And it's about the only term paper, the only thing I did in all of my schooling that I got a good mark in, but it was still like, you're kind of out there, Dan. You're a little crazy, but it came to pass.
Yeah.
We've gone to Walmart and allowed Walmart to completely gut small town America.
Yeah.
And
Main Street 5 and dimes are gone.
They're gone.
they're gone.
And
They're gone.
here's the
Because we don't
thing.
have time for it anymore. We began a society of everyone is working, and now they don't have time. They're too exhausted. They're too tired. They're too worn out. We have spent ourselves on things that are not important, and we have no idea how to prioritize. So now it becomes about necessity and instantaneous everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we don't know how to be patient. Like, oh my gosh, I had a conversation with my daughter over the weekend. So we're getting ready to go back to school. School goes back in a couple weeks. And my daughter is in band, and she wants to play clarinet. And I'm like, yep, music in the family. Yep, let's do it. And so last year we had rented her clarinet because I told her, I don't know if you're going to continue this, but I will pay
Smart
for
lady.
it as long as you are going to continue to do it. And if at the end of the year you decide you want to continue with this instrument, then I will buy you one. But I'm not going to buy you something that you're not going to use. And so I finally found a good deal on one and bought it off Amazon. And so it brand new, that way it has a warranty, all that. And so we bought it, and she's been so excited. And I have Amazon Prime, so I get everything in 2 days or less.
Right. Me too.
And I cannot tell you how many times in that 2 days I heard from my 12-year-old, when is it going to be here? That's too long. I can't wait that long. And I know she was joking, but there was a part of her that wasn't joking. And I'm sitting there going, I remember when I had to order something, and I don't even know when it would show. I was lucky if it showed up sometime this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it
I remember mail order
They are-
catalog.
Yes. J.C. Whitney.
Sears and Roebuck.
Sears and Well, now to be fair,
Sears and
to be
Roebuck.
fair, we all of us young men know all about the Sears and Roebuck catalog. To be
I
clear,
remember when you could buy a house from Sears and Roebuck.
you
Yes.
could buy AC, you could get a car from Sears and Roebuck.
Anything that you needed.
Yeah. And for
I
those,
memorized.
and then for those of us young men, maybe I'm the only one in here. We had Playboy before there was Playboy. We called it the Sears and Roebuck catalog.
oh, Dan.
Look, come on. I can't be the only one. I don't. The three men sitting right here, and there's one on the phone. I'm the only one that could not wait for that Sears and Roebuck catalog to come in.
I think you might be the only one.
I might be the
The only one to admit it. Yeah, besides that section, I memorized every gun and every option and every price that was offered.
Yeah. Yeah. So it but in today's society, and see, people think the internet. Before we had the internet, we had CB radios, people. Mm-hmm. And those of us who know, and you know this yourself, Brother Dan, you could find anything you want on Breaker 19.
Absolutely.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is true.
Anything or anybody
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
At any time.
At any time.
That's
I
right.
remember
That's right.
actually having the conversation again with my daughter over the weekend. I was giving her a test. And so I asked her things from, like, my childhood. I asked her to either describe to me or tell me what that thing was.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the questions that I asked her was, what is an AOL chat room? She had no idea.
No.
And I was like, it is something that I had no business being on.
No clue whatsoever. See, people say, how do you survive Marketplace on Facebook? It's easy. We had the one ad.
Uh-huh.
And I can read I can read a one ad. I can tell you everything about what they're selling by just reading their ad. Okay, I know whether it's nonsense. I know what they're not saying. The Facebook, it's a wild, wild west for me, but I'm no problem. I'm the sheriff. I know how to manipulate. I can tell when you said something that is nonsense.
Yeah.
When your picture doesn't match what you're saying. Yeah, come on. But we learned this kind of stuff. I was so happy when I was back in Ohio because people said good morning. People said hi. Men would tip their hats to other men. We hold the door. What are you doing over there? He's tipping his hat to me. Yes, okay.
How many of us remember the library?
Oh my goodness! I lived in the library. Surprise, surprise.
And actually got a book, took it home, read it, and brought it back.
Well, some of the books that I read, I couldn't take home. Some of them.
What are we going to do with them?
Well, there was stuff I wanted to know.
And once you knew it, you still didn't take the book back?
No, because they didn't have you just took the book and you found yourself a nice corner and you were able to read and study and do stuff like that. What? He's looking at me like there was something wrong with me.
I'll tell you what book fascinated me more than anything else you could imagine. Don't laugh. Is a Rand McNally Atlas.
Yeah.
I went on search for something entirely different in my father's bottom drawer there when I was home alone. I was 12 years old. And what I found was his Atlas.
Okay.
I'm leaping through it, thinking, oh, wow, all these cool places. That is when I opened a page to the map of Texas, and I said, this takes 2 whole pages, not counting the cities. This is where I was supposed to have been born. Mom and Dad came home, and I said, folks, you have one job only, and I was supposed to have been born there, and we're not doing so good. It took me till I was 18 to get here.
Before we had GPS, we had the AAA maps.
Yes. And triptychs. Yes.
I look forward to.
Yeah.
I look forward to getting in the corner and reading that.
Okay.
Not what you read.
Well, look. I tell you what. You make fun of me all you want to, but it served me well.
Listen,
it served me well. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh boy!
I started as a professional driver 40
plus
or 43 years ago, and of course, GPS and cell phones were not even in our George Jetson imagination.
Yeah.
But I can't tell you how many times I navigated coming into a town that I'd never been to before, and I would have to say, well, if I was a meat packing plant in a town this size, where would I be?
Yeah.
I'd be downwind.
Yep.
That means on the east side,
Yeah.
And that's how, and listen, you do that for a little while, and it works.
Absolutely.
Of course it does.
Yeah. I picked up, we're driving from Cleveland to Albuquerque, New Mexico. I picked up Cleveland 1100 radio, AM radio, all the way to Albuquerque. And then Boston 1030 AM radio, all the way from Boston, Massachusetts to California at night.
Because on Skip.
Yeah.
Yep.
You could do that. So I watched Canadian TV. As a matter of fact, we on Saturday morning after the cartoons would go off, I could tune the TV up to the Canadian TV station. That's where I first saw my first watched my first wrestling match coming in on
You must be really bored if you're watching Canadian.
Well,
even Canadians don't like watching Canadian TV.
Well, that was the beauty of it, though. The radio waves weren't as much. We didn't have as much going on. We weren't so inundated.
Yeah.
With everything.
And that's a good thing. And see, we're having a good time this morning, but we got to remember that all of this stuff made us who we are.
Yeah.
And the kids that are growing up now, they have their own existence, and we have to figure out how to make our old school concepts relevant.
Well, they've never seen a telephone booth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? They don't know what that is. They don't know what a telephone is.
I firmly believe that the only way for us to turn our cultural decline around is to reinstate the draft, because we have developed such an incredible disparity between the haves and the have-nots that we're in a cultural divide here. And the one thing about military service is, as my drill instructor reiterated many times, says, you are all equally worthless. You know?
Yeah.
They shave your head. They take all of your civilian clothes. You know, you call the guys that just got off the bus rainbows. You know, because they still were wearing colors, and until they got their fatigues.
Yeah.
And but what that does is it gives people a chance to build character.
It creates
to
uniformity.
Think about something.
Yeah.
Think
It
about
creates
something
uniformity.
that is bigger than just their own little world.
Yeah.
You know, thinking
And
about
also, I think it
teamwork
goes
and
back. Sorry, I think it goes back to kind of what we were talking about earlier about like funerals and weddings. That uniformity is something that we can all agree on, and it's something that brings us together. We have too many things that divide us as a culture. As humans, we look for everything that can divide us, and we don't look for the things that unify us.
Yeah.
And so I actually agree with you, Dan, because I was originally going to go into the Air Force when I was a teenager. And I truly believe, absolutely, something like that is absolutely needed, because we need to know it's not about us, and there is a level of understanding and there is a level of knowledge that you will never have if you never get out of the town you grew up in.
That part is absolutely true.
Yeah.
You will never become a full, I don't think you can become a fully functioning adult if you've never left the town or even the state where you come from, because you do not know the world, therefore you are not wise. And if you're not wise, I don't think you can be an adult.
Yeah. See, and this is the thing. I'm product of busing, and not because of race, but because of eyes. So I followed, they called the Sight Saver classes. So every school year from kindergarten all the way up until the 7th or 8th grade, I was in a different school, in a different neighborhood of the city of Cleveland. So I was in every year a different school. So I had a chance to see and meet and travel all throughout the city, whereas my cousins stayed local. And so stuff that I was experiencing, stuff that I was learning, all these things were preparing me. I didn't know that, but all these things were preparing me for where I am now. This may come as a shock to most people that don't know me, that I can walk into any situation and find someone to talk to.
Yeah.
No.
Same here. Yeah. We're twins
Beauty of
all
it.
the
Like, as
way,
a chaplain,
man.
I do the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, and unfortunately, due to my situation, I mean, shoot, I had a situation over the weekend. I've had a lot of things happen to me over the weekend. So, yeah. I had a situation over the weekend.
Keep
where,
it PG. Keep it PG.
Oh, no. I've been through a lot of things in marriage and divorce and kids and being homeless and, you know, all sorts of crazy stuff that I should have never had to go through, but it is what God put in my path. And so over the weekend, I've been very honest with a lot of my struggles lately with a lady from church, and she called me on Sunday evening, and she's like, hey, I know this is kind of out of the blue, but I just met a waitress at the place I'm eating dinner at, and she was telling me her story because she saw my church shirt. She was asking me for prayer, and she was telling me her story, and she said, immediately God just brought you to my mind because everything that she's going through, you've been through, and you were telling me about this morning. And she's like, can I give you her number? And, you know, she really needs some help. And she said, honestly, I don't have the experience to help her, but you do. Would you be okay with that? Yeah. And I'm like, absolutely, because I believe that God puts us through things that we can use for others, and that's why that happens.
Absolutely.
And so I've gone through those experiences, and I told her, I was like, you know, it's kind of funny. I've met 3 different people today that have said that in different scenarios, different situations, different parts of my life. And I would never be that person if I hadn't gone through those things.
Yeah.
So everything that we're allowed to go through absolutely sets us up for where we're at and where we're going.
And see, this is the key to it. Wow, it's amazing that you're saying that, because I was talking to a young man yesterday. I stopped into the tire shop because one of my transponders on my tires isn't working. Okay, I thought it was the driver's side, but I thought it was the passenger side, but it's actually the driver's side in the rear. But anyway, that's neither here. So we're talking, and this young man said to me, I just don't. He's got him and his girlfriend been living together for the last 7 or 8 years. They have one kid, and I said, and they're not married. And I said, well, have you ever considered getting married? And he said, well, I don't trust anybody. And I said, what? He said, I just, because of what I've been through in my life, I don't trust anybody. So now jovial, half-hearted Dan has to go away, and Pastor Don, him, has to show up. And I said, well, okay, can I have a real conversation with you? Because, we've been laughing and hee-ha-ha, and we're both car guys, so we've been having it. But can I have a real conversation with you? And I was able to share with him why he should get married, just on the practical sense. If he and his wife, he and his live-in are traveling and something happens to their kid, he's got no say. If something happens to her, he's got no say. They're looking for the next of kin.
Yeah.
And on a practical nature, when you're traveling, especially if you leave the country, if you go to Canada or Mexico, you're done. If you're not the husband or the wife, if you don't have quote unquote papers on that person, you're done. And he'd never considered that before. And I said, even if your name is on the birth certificate of the female, of the child, you still don't have the rights that you would have if you are the father, if you are the husband. So, and he'd never thought of that. It never occurred to him that would be a reason to do it. And I said, now I get, and then the deeper issue is the trust. And he was sharing, we just met, he didn't want to share. So I said, okay, well, I have to tell you that, yeah, I get the trust issue. Trust me, I get the trust issue. And I shared with him, how I'm adopted. I'm not adopted, but I was in the foster home, and all the lies and the stuff and all the different things, and how I was raised in silence and all of that. So I get all that stuff. And I was able to share with him. He's like, wow, when I met you, I knew there was something deeper about you than just your silly jokes. And I said, yeah, well, silly jokes. Sometimes you laugh so you don't cry.
Hey, true. True.
And now I'm able. I don't know what's going to happen. I said, if you need me, I gave him my card and said, this is my number. If you need me, give me a call. If I can talk, I will. But you're not alone out here. And now you know that somebody who you don't know has told you that you're valuable, has told you that you matter, and that you can trust. But I learned to trust when I accepted Christ. Before then, I didn't trust nobody either. But once I accepted Christ, I was able to begin to learn how to trust. And I still have issues with trust. People think I'm the easiest person in the world, but I still have trust issues. You know that. And the reality of it is you have to have trust issues. Yep. You've got to learn to discernment. And we're going to take in our next segment coming up. We're doing a special 2-hour segment in our next segment coming up. So I'm going to keep the panel ready, get you folks ready. We are going to discuss what a Christian is. So stick around. What is a Christian is coming up in the next hour.
Excellent.
But right now, we're just continuing on this lighthearted vein. We have 4 minutes before we have to get off of this lighthearted vein.
I have to give a shout out here real quick before the top of the hour. I had like the worst day ever on Monday, and I can tell you about that after. But I got home, and my next door neighbor had made me some peanut butter cornflake cookies to take with me for the road.
Ooh.
And she made me some lasagna, some real nice and everything like that. Her name Linda from Saxe, Texas.
Oh my God!
I really appreciated that. Linda, you have yourself a great day. She listens to us every week.
Brother Dan, Brother Dan. Now, I mean, come on, man. I mean, Linda. I'm just saying, I don't know. The Holy Spirit is telling me to shut up.
Yeah, probably so. But
Close that door.
Close the door, but I'm just saying.
And she delivered them in a casserole dish.
Something you have to return. Things that make you go,
That's right. So I know she's laughing in her car, waiting to go into the office.
Okay.